You don't need money to look like money, but once you know these tricks, you are never gonna look at your closet the same way again. Hello, gorgeous girl. Welcome back to my channel. And I'm so excited for today's video because this is like my sweet spot. I love fashion. I love beauty. I love wellness. I love all the things, but style, and especially style on a budget. Ooh, honey, I am your girl. I am so here for it. So if you are new here, make sure to tap on that subscribe button. And for everyone, tap on the little bell so you always know when we have a brand new video that goes live. This is something that I've been practicing forever, really getting like the best stylish clothes and not having to spend a bajillion dollars, because I truly believe that style is something that we just exude, right? If you have confidence and you are just like owning it and owning your look and owning the room, who cares if you spent $20 or $2,000 on an item? It really doesn't matter. But there are secrets. There are little things, and we're going to get into that right now. There are certain tones that just read luxe, that read rich girl, that read luxury. Like, girl, you are rich. And those are camel. I'm sorry, but if you're wearing a camel coat, I probably think that you are rich. If you are wearing like a chocolate brown, and chocolate brown is everywhere right now. It is so on trend, and it is so gorgeous on so many different skin tones. And in my opinion, it just looks so much more elevated than black. Navy blue always just looks chic. It looks elevated. It looks expensive. Creams, winter whites, those just exude money. And truly, it doesn't really matter how much the item costs if you are wearing these tones and also practicing what I like to call tonal dressing, where you have like a navy ensemble, maybe like a tank top and a pair of pants, and you throw a jacket over. It's just going to read more luxury, even if you got those items at like a discount store. It doesn't really matter. Olive green, burgundy, these are tones that are perfect for this time of year, but they also just exude money. They exude luxury. And like I said, doesn't matter how much you spent on them. Now here's a little bonus tip for this one. Those kind of like almost colors that look a little muddy, kind of like washed out, kind of faded, those are a little bit harder to look elevated. Now, I'm not saying, like sometimes I love like a gray denim and I feel really great and chic in that, but those are a little trickier to look more luxurious and more, luxe. So real solid colors that are deep, that are rich, those are not only on trend and of the moment right now, but also are just going to make you look more money. Now, this is one that I like to call the texture contrast. This is, again, another really simple trick that's going to take your outfit to the next level. I'm talking about leather or even faux leather. Vegan leather is just fine. And mixing that with like a satin or a silk or a lace item, right? Wearing something like this that's sort of like a flannelly plaid, but notice the buttons, right? It gives that little elevated element. If those buttons weren't there, this might read farmer, right? But with the buttons, and it's also like a cape, I don't know, it's kind of fun. It's giving you that mixture of textures. Denim with silk, or leather with crisp cotton, or again, that silk or satin. That mixture of textures, it also just adds the interest to your outfit, but also makes it look more intentional, more luxurious. The other day, I have to say, I was wearing a denim shirt and I had this kind of cotton skirt that I got on Amazon, and it has sort of like a khaki kind of finish, just my regular, signature little necklace, hoops, and I had a pair of gold shoes on. And this woman came up to me at my daughter's ballet class and was like, "You always look so chic." And I was like, literally, this shirt is probably like 15 years old. The skirt was probably like $20 from Amazon. The shoes were from Zara. But again, it's like putting it all together because there was a mixture of textures. The shoes were metallic and gold, the denim shirt, and then that sort of like khaki material skirt. It just kind of all worked together, and it looked like I put in way more effort when it really took me like 5 minutes to get ready. Now here's one that's going to cost you $0, and that is focusing on your hair. Your head is literally your crown, and it is a huge accessory, and it can either be working for you or working against you. If you've got shiny, healthy hair, that's automatically going to elevate even a $10 t-shirt. So I recently discovered a tool that not only makes my hair healthy, makes it look shinier, makes it look like I had an expensive blowout, but I also swear it can really shave years off of your appearance too, which we love. This is the Dreamy Dazzle hair dryer, and I have to say, it's kind of like changed my life. It dries and styles my hair so fast. The dryer is so powerful. I can go from wet hair to fully styled in literally like 15 minutes. Or if I ever just need like a quick little style refresh, it can take me less than 5 minutes and I'm out the door. And I even love using this on my daughter. My daughter has very, very thick hair. She's very lucky. My hair's not thick at all. But it normally, with my Dyson dryer, it would take me forever to dry her hair. But with the Dreamy Dazzle, it takes no time at all to get her hair from soaking wet to fully dry in just minutes. And check this out. It's auto wrap. It literally grabs my hair and curls it for me. No twisting, no frying ends, and the airflow and shine it gives is fully chef's kiss. In fact, that's how I did my hair today. And I have to say, we are having a very good hair day, and not because I'm good at doing hair, but because I used my Dreamy Dazzle. The dryer actually recognizes which attachment you pop on and automatically adjusts the heat and airflow for you. Now, if you've been here for a while, you know that I've always been a Dyson girly. I've had mine for over 6 years, and honestly, I invested $600 on it. And that's all fine and good if you want to really invest in it. However, the Dreamy Dazzle, you can get that same slick, professional, polished, blowout-like look for under $200. It's lighter, it's more comfortable, it's easy to use, and I love how my hair feels afterward. So if you want that, I just left the salon glossy, expensive, styled look without the time or the price tag, you want to grab it now. Because Dreamy is having their Black Friday sale, and it's their biggest one ever. Get your Dreamy Dazzle for under $200 by using my link below in the description. Or if you're watching me on TV, just scan this QR code right now. This has truly been a game changer. I mean, the hair is hairing, and it took me just minutes. It cost me no money, and I'm telling you, I've given up on my Dyson since using my Dreamy Dazzle about 6 months ago. We love it. You can have the most designer outfit in the world and have spent so much money on it, but truly, if it is not fitting you, it does not matter. And honestly, you are not going to get the results that you wanted from your outfit. So make friends with your tailor. I am a short queen. I am only 5'2". So my tailor and I are like besties. Pretty much everything that I buy, I have to get it shortened for the most part. And you know what? I will do it, and I will do it happily. So here's a big pro tip. Bring in the shoes that you think you are going to wear with your pants or your jeans or your dress, right? So that you're really getting that length. You know, in my opinion, I think the chicest way for your pants is almost like your feet aren't even there. They're just skimming the ground. That's really important, especially if you're a little bit shorter, to make your legs appear longer. But also you want to make sure that you don't have like gaping waistbands or too long straps on tank tops, you know, just really take in your clothes and make sure that they are fitting you properly, because that can make even a $10 or $20 dress look like $1 million on you. Not all fabrics are created equal, and there are certain fabrics that just read more luxurious. I'm talking about this time of year, cashmere. Cashmere just always reads more luxury and kind of just gives people an opinion about you. It's like, oh, girl's got it together. Girl might have a few bucks. Wool, leather, and suede, these are all materials that we want to wear right at this time of year. And the best news is you do not have to spend a bajillion dollars to have some of these materials. Number one, think designer consignment, right? I love The RealReal. That's a site that I use all the time. And I got this incredible leather skirt. I think I got it for like $150. It's real leather. It fits me perfectly. It's a designer label, but it was less than half of the price if I was buying it at the store. And for cashmere right now, quince. One word, quince. You know, I have to say, they recently gifted me some sweaters, and I was shocked, truly shocked by how high quality the materials are, you know. And for me, I'm the kind of person that I love to bundle up on a plane, and I'm on a plane usually about once a month. So my gosh, the color of this sweater, it's that perfect camely color, which just already reads luxe. Then it's cashmere, so it's cozy. I'm on the plane. I feel luxurious. I feel put together, but it's also reading rich. But the other thing that I love about Quince is that some of their cashmeres, they're not super thick. Like I have this navy one that kind of you can take it off your shoulder or just wear it as is. And it's that nice thin cashmere. So it feels incredible, but also I can even wear it in Miami weather, which is so nice. But if you're not a cashmere girly, just really feel your fabrics. You know, the other day I was shopping with a girlfriend and we were in a beautiful boutique, and like some of the materials, I was like, this just reads cheap. You know, they had some suiting and I was like, you could tell it was like synthetic material. And it's like, even if it was like $200, $250, I'm like, I'm not going to buy it because it just feels cheap. So think cottons, think leathers, think suede, think cashmere, right? And avoid things that kind of feel shiny, that feel cheapy, that have that, I don't even know how to describe it. You know what I'm talking about, that like synthetic feel. And remember, it's not about price, it's about quality, and it's also about how you wear it. Next, we're going to talk about luxury silhouettes. There are certain silhouettes that, in my opinion, are just never out of style. They are timeless. They are always chic and elegant, and they also read like you spent some money on them. And I'm talking about wide leg trousers. You know, I love Victoria Beckham, and she always wears, I don't know if you pay attention, but her jeans, her trousers, they are pretty much generally like wide leg, and they give her leg more length. I don't think she's that tall, but it just looks like, even if it's from Zara, H&M, or you know, some kind of, you know, store like that, it looks more luxurious because of the fit of the pants. Pencil skirts, totally on trend right now and having a huge resurgence, but it's a classic silhouette. It's always going to make you look more put together, more luxurious, more elevated. A crisp button down or a slightly oversized blazer or oversized kind of silhouette on the top, that's always going to make you look a little bit more chic and a little bit more like a fashion girly. Now I know someone's going to say, but Tracy, I have really big boobs and I can't wear oversized or blah, blah, blah. Of course, you have to work with your body, but what are some of the elements that when you put them on, you always feel just luxurious, elevated? You're getting compliments left and right. That's when you know, like for your body and your body type, you're really onto something. And don't be ruled by the number of the size on your clothes. You know, when it comes to pants, especially if I want like a wider leg, because I have muscles, because I work out, a lot of times I will size up in my pants and then just get the waist taken in and then get the length taken up so that I have a little bit more of that wide leg silhouette. You know, for a shirt, sometimes I'll steal my husband's, and my husband and I are very much different sizes, right? But I love how like when I wear his shirt, it's like big, it's oversized, and it just instantly makes the chic level go up. Now we have to next talk about your skin, and I'm talking about skin glow, not glitter. Your skin being glowy, being dewy, looking hydrated can really elevate your look. But if you've got like glitter or sparkly or just like really makeup-y looking makeup, especially, you know, I'm 50 years old, that's just not cute anymore. So you want to make sure that the products that you're using and the makeup that you are using, it's really going to work for your skin type at this age and at this stage. Now, I've got tons of videos here on my YouTube channel that you can check out, so make sure after this video you check out some of these next. And this is another one that you might not be thinking about, but how you actually smell can sort of create a vibe about who you are as a person. Now, I know what matters is on the inside, but truly, have you ever had someone just like walk by you and you're like, what is that perfume? You smell amazing. Like, I'm that girl that's going to come up to you and be like, okay, I have to ask you, like, what are you wearing? Because you smell incredible. But, you know, I will tell you, I was at an event recently and they were giving out this perfume. And in fact, they gave it to me and people kept walking by and I was like, someone needs to do laundry. It smelled musty, like wet laundry. I felt so bad. I was like, ooh, what the heck's going on? And then when I got home, I had a little swag bag and I was, you know, spraying the perfumes to see like, okay, what do I like or who am I going to gift, you know, something to? And it was one of the perfumes. It had this like horrible kind of like musky, like wet laundry that was like left in your washer and you just kind of put it on. It was so bad. I couldn't believe it. So I felt so bad because I was assuming these people were kind of stinky, but really it was just the perfume. But my point is, Fragrance layering. At this age and this stage, I use a lot of like body oils, and some of them are scented. Like I love the Nukes ones. They smell delicious. They're really fresh. But then when I layer on my perfume over it, it kind of has this cohesiveness, and it also will make your perfume last longer. Don't forget about your hair too. If you are a perfume girly like me, I like to spray a little bit on like my body, but also in my hair, so that there's just that subtle waft of fragrance, which also can just elevate your look and your impression. This is something that some might say I have a problem with, and those are sunglasses. I am a sunglasses girly. Now, I live in Miami right now, though it's kind of gray and cloudy, but generally speaking, it's sunny here. And you can have no makeup on, you can be in activewear, but if you put on a cool pair of sunglasses, you instantly elevate your look and you look a little bit more together. Now, I do not spend any money on sunglasses anymore. In my opinion, I get all the ones that I love and that I wear and that allows me to have an entire wardrobe of sunglasses. I get them all on Amazon. So I will leave them linked down below, my storefront down below in the description box. But truly, don't sleep on Amazon. There's one brand that I particularly love. It's called Sojos, S-O-J-O-S on Amazon. And they have the chicest kind of trendy of the moment fun sunglasses. And usually most of them are like under $20. So don't sleep on your sunglasses, and also look at them. Like with this outfit, because there is a little bit of brown in the jacket, I would do more of like a brown sunglass. I think that would just like kind of tie it all together. That you can sometimes, like if you want to just hide and have that like mysterioso look, big black sunglasses, you just instantly look a little bit more like, who is that girl? What is she up to? But it just elevates your look, and it literally takes you 2 seconds to do. Make sure that you have a maintenance mindset. If you want to look expensive without spending a fortune, you got to take care of your stuff. Now, when I'm doing laundry, a lot of my clothes I actually don't put in the dryer. I let them air dry. That makes them just last longer, and they're not kind of like around in the dryer so much. That's just a really simple tip, right? But make sure that you check like your shoes. I'm loath to admit this, but I am that girl. Like if I see that your shoes are like scuffed or like, just looking kind of ratty, like it makes me think a certain way. Like you just didn't care enough, especially if you're like at an event or something like that. Take those few extra seconds to notice like, ooh, I need to get my shoes resoled, or like it has like a tiny little rip in it, or you need to repair something, go to your tailor, go to your shoe guy. Like just make sure that you're taking really good care of your clothes, and also just paying attention to the small little details, because that little extra bit of attention really completely elevates your look. Let's talk about your bags. Now, listen, I love a bag. And in my opinion, I can be wearing like clothes from Amazon all day, but if I have a great killer bag, it just brings that outfit up to the next level. But you do not have to spend thousands of dollars on designer bags. I love a designer bag, and sometimes it's nice to invest in a piece like that, but you certainly do not have to. I have some incredible purses that are some of my favorites that I got on Amazon, right? I just ordered a $100 clutch, which hopefully will be here and I can put it in here, that I think is so high fashion. It was $100, right? And it's kind of big and slouchy, and it's just kind of that like of the moment look right now. But that for me really works because I don't really need like a tote. I'm not like a tote girl. I'm like a purse girl. Anyway, I love purses. So I have the whole gamut of prices, from $20 bags to, things that are real designer investment pieces that I'm going to hand down to my daughter. My point is, just think of your bag and make sure that it kind of works with your look. The days of just having the purse, it might not be working. Like I think, again, with this outfit, a nice brown little purse would just kind of pull it together a little bit. And again, it gives that impression that you actually spent so much more time on your outfit. Let me remind you, designer consignment, whether you go to the Real or you go to a shop in your area or a thrift store or something like that. Some of my favorite pieces are vintage pieces that I either got on the Real or I found just like scouring around. It doesn't have to cost $1 bajillion. It just has to look and make you feel like $1 million when you use it. But the ultimate secret to looking expensive without spending $1 million is truly your confidence. When you look and feel confident in your clothes, in your look, and you do spend those just 5 minutes kind of pulling yourself together instead of just being like top knot and activewear all day, it changes how you show up in the world. Look, there are days when I'm like activewear all day and like that's it. But really, most days I try to just take, even if it's just 5 minutes, to kind of zhuzh myself up a little bit so that I'm feeling confident, so that I'm feeling more like me, so that if I run into someone, I'm not like embarrassed, right? And even if that just means like no makeup, put on some sunglasses and like a cute shoe, and you are good to go. So I hope that this was really helpful and fun for you. This is a topic I love because I truly don't think that you need to spend thousands and thousands of dollars on your wardrobe to really look chic and elegant and elevated. It's really about how you piece things together. So let's get active in the comments. Let me know what you think about this. I'm really, really curious. I will leave everything linked down below so that you can check it out and have ease of shopping. And like I said, if you want to check out the Dreamy Dazzle, you can check out the QR code or in the description box below. If you want to keep hanging with me here on YouTube, check out this video next. I'll see you there.